Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories. If you do love a relationship story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. And let's dive straight in to today's first story, and of course it follows with an update as well. This story comes from Artistic Royal 9827, titled "The Guy 28 Male, I 26 Female am seeing has a serious girlfriend." I've been seeing Nate for about 2 months now, and I really like him. I met him at the gym. When we first got together, he took me out to dinner and then asked if I wanted to come back to his place. Before we hooked up, he said that he wasn't looking for anything serious and that he's seeing other people. Was I okay with that? I really liked the guy, so I said sure. I see him every weekend or so, to the point where I'd definitely consider Nate my boyfriend. But we hadn't talked about taking that next step. One night I was sleeping over at his place and I saw a text on his phone that said, "Good night baby, love you," and I was floored. I know his passcode from playing music off his phone, so I took a peek and it was clear. He has a long-term girlfriend. I don't know what came over me, but I was livid. I knew he was seeing other people, but not that he had a full-blown girlfriend that he says "I love you" to. I immediately confronted Nate about it, and he just said that it wasn't any of my business. When I pushed him on it, he said she knows everything, that they are long distance and eventually she'll move in with him, but until then, they're fine with casual relationships on the side. He then immediately drove me home and hasn't responded to me since. I feel like I have a right to be upset because he didn't give me the full extent of his other relationships. I'm also not sure if I trust that she knows about him seeing other girls, because that seems like a line he just used. The girl's name is like burned into my head. Do I try to reach out to her? Part of me still wants to fix things with Nate if I could, because I do really like him, but I have no clue how. Now I think the language at the very first paragraph was the thing to pick up on instantly. He wasn't looking for anything serious, that he's seeing other people. Are you okay with that? And you said you really like this guy, so you said sure. So was you really just not listening to what he was saying? Or, as it comes across to me anyway, that it's pretty obvious that you're not exclusive to him in this situation. And then in the second paragraph you go on to say you definitely consider Nate your boyfriend, yet he said he wasn't looking for anything serious and he was seeing other people. Are you still okay with that if you're considering him your boyfriend? I just find it all a bit strange that, OP is so surprised that someone else is in the picture after the first initial paragraph. I'm not playing down their feelings on that matter because, it must still be hurtful whatever way you look at it, but still, it seemed kind of obvious. But before we do go into that update, Richard Lundstrom says, well, it could be true, but I'm guessing it isn't. If I were you, I'd ask her. I mean, what could go wrong? If it's true that he's allowed to have other relationships, she will tell you that, and you can contact him again and start seeing him again. Knowing he told the truth, albeit without holding one detail, but that's manageable, or she says that it's not true, and you did both of you a favor. Kehus Riff Bay says, what is there even to fix? Where could this situation even go from here? Unless I am misreading what he said, implies pretty strongly that the other girl is his priority. He's probably lying to her about lots of things, but that's another issue. So I would suggest cutting your losses and moving on. Celarella93 saying, are you seriously implying to tell the girlfriend in order to get him? Girl, run, leave that man behind and find someone worth your time. He told you he's not interested in something more. Even if he wasn't with her, it doesn't mean he would be with you. Cash Money Millie says, oh my god, why would you ever consider him your boyfriend? You see each other every weekend, basically to hook up, and he blatantly told you he isn't exclusive to you and he's dating other people. What the fuck? And one more from between 3 and 20 characters who says, this is hilarious. Guy told you he wasn't interested in anything serious and was seeing someone else. Then you find out he's seeing someone else and get pissed. Lol. The guy could literally not have done anything more, even down to driving you home when you freak out and not communicating with you when it's obvious you have feelings for him. Serious stand-up guy. Then the update to this post says, I did it. I told the girlfriend. I ended up finding her on Instagram. When I got access to her feed, it was mind-blowing. She has so many pictures of her and Nate together, dating back to like 4 years ago. He's taken her to Iceland for her birthday. They spent New Year's in a fancy ski lodge. Honestly, seeing all that made me seethe, because other than like 2 nice dinners, Nate and I mostly stayed in. Also, I knew he was well off, but not like birthday trips to Iceland well off. Now I feel like I hardly know anything about him. So I messaged the girlfriend and told her what happened, that I'd been seeing Nate for a couple of months now. She knew already. She said pretty much exactly what he said, that while they are apart they don't mind if they both have casual relationships with other people. I asked her if she knew why. He didn't tell me about her, and she just said he's a pretty private person. He doesn't share more than he feels necessary. Then I asked her if there was a way to get him to respond to me so I could say I'm sorry, and she just said he's sending a pretty clear message and that she hoped she gave me some closure, but it would be in everybody's best interest to please not contact either of us again. Which, okay, ouch. No need to treat me like a child. Now I'm blocked. I text Nate to apologize and asked if we could get a coffee to talk it through, but he hasn't responded. So that's the update. Pretty much the strangest relationship situation I've ever been in, and now I'm at a loss. I really liked him. This sucks. Whoa, now that wasn't the update I was expecting in the end, that the girlfriend knew about it. Then OP came back and said she wants to meet up for coffee to try and fix what they had, which wasn't much to begin with. What was the end point? What was OP hoping to get out of this in the very end? Was she hoping to steal Nate away from his current girlfriend, or was she just happy to be bit on the side maybe? I really don't understand what OP was hoping for in the end of this relationship. What do you guys think on this one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll move on to another story. Holy moly. And our next story follows with an update as well from Am I the Arsehole Shower, who says, am I the arsehole for standing firm on my lack of hygiene and choosing a cat over boyfriend? With an update, of course. Hi everyone, on mobile, Merry Christmas. First things first, I, 24 female, have been dating Kyle, 25 male, for 2 months now. He started to spend the night. Kyle never grew up with pets, so my cat has been an adjustment to him. His words. My cat, Crumb, 4 male, is the most important aspect in my life right now. Like most cat parents, he rules the household. We are very close, since I found him abandoned on the side of the road, as a 3-month-old kitten, and nursed him back to health. Crumb is very docile, but hasn't shown any affection or really interest in Kyle. I don't force it, Crumb does as he does. Lately, Kyle has been complaining about Crumb. I guess he walked into my bathroom to see Crumb rubbing his face against my toothbrush. I have one of those electric ones that stands. He was shocked and told me how disgusting it was. I laughed and said, yeah, that's not great. He demanded I get a new toothbrush, expensive, and I said no. I just put the toothbrush in a drawer. Next, Carl says he doesn't like my nightly routine with Crumb. I give Crumb a kiss on the head, stomach, and then face before he goes to sleep. He sleeps on my bedside table in a cat bed. If I don't do this routine, he lays on me until I do. I know that's annoying, but that's how it's always been, and I love doing it. Well, Carl says I am unhygienic because of this. He says Crumb is dirty. He is inside only and I brush him every day. And even letting him sleep in the bedroom is gross and gets fur everywhere. It doesn't, but Carl isn't even allergic, so... I told him that I put the toothbrush away, but he told me that I took it as a joke and didn't punish Crumb. The hell? I tried to explain that you can't punish cats, nor would I want to in this scenario. But he wouldn't hear it. He then went on to say that me kissing Crumb is disgusting, especially his face, and he wouldn't ever kiss me if I kissed Crumb again. He asked me to put Crumb outside the room whenever he is over, or lock him in a crate. So I said, okay, bye. Not only is Crumb 10,000 times more important to me, but I laughed in Carl's face about never kissing my cat again and keeping him locked. This is where I may be the arsehole. Carl told me I was ruining our future and how mean I am for laughing at his concerns. I felt guilty, so I asked a group of my friends and they were split. The pet owners laughed. The non-pet owners said I am in the wrong for not making Carl feel more comfortable. They said that Carl wasn't asking me to get rid of Crumb, just compromise with him. They said I was being kinda gross and understand his concerns. And before we get into the comments and updates, we have some obligatory cat tax right here. So here's the pic of that lovely kitty in its bed. And wow, that cat has some amazing eyes. Edit 2, whoa, I didn't expect this to blow up at all. I'm reading everything. Even if I don't reply, I asked Carl if we could talk tomorrow. Since we aren't speaking, and he said yes, I'll let you know how it goes. And there's a little more cat tax as well, which is always gladly accepted on this channel. So someone that you've been with for 2 months is started to spend the night at your place and now throwing sort of demands around on how you interact with your pet, your family member. And yes, I do understand it would be an adjustment for someone who's not been around pets for a while, but the behavior just seems weird to me, man. I totally understand about the whole toothbrush, you know, cat rubbing itself against your toothbrush. It would be like, yeah, that's nasty. But you fix that particular situation by just putting the toothbrush in the drawer. Simple as. But now he wants you to stop doing the routine you have with your cat by kissing it on the nose and sort of getting him ready for bed and stuff like that. I'm biased anyway because I kiss Poppy on the head on the nose when I can, but it's a definite not the arsehole to me. And then he turns around at the end and says, you know, you're an arsehole because you're ruining our future by laughing at my concerns. And, you know, in most situations, yeah, you would be an arsehole for laughing at someone's concerns, but they're so ridiculous. Imagine being in his shoes, coming into someone's house, staying the night after 2 months of a relationship and then start throwing these demands around. Ugh, no, not for me. And I understand some people are going to feel differently about this. Like in this particular post, they said yeah, non-pet people will feel differently maybe. And not all non-pet people, of course, but I'm sure some's going to feel the same way as they stated here. But Crick says not the arsehole. Crumb sounds like a great cat. Your boyfriend? Not so great. Keep the cat, ditch the boyfriend. You'll be happier. Six Wolfie says definitely not the arsehole. The laughing in his face bit is a bit mean, but I don't agree with your friend saying he wasn't asking to get rid of him, because you said he wanted the cat to go outside or in a crate when he was over. So if you'd move in together, the cat would be needed to be not there forever. And OP replied to that saying, whoa, I never thought about it like this. How could I have a future with someone that would make me get rid of him if we were ever to progress? I don't think I would want to be with someone who would make me choose, even though I would choose Crumb. Synthetic Affliction says you're the arsehole. OP is going to be a future crazy cat lady. Calling it now. Kyle dodged a bullet. Johnny Hotbody says not the arsehole, however, kissing your cat is hella unhygienic. Aside from the fact the cat rolls around on the floor, which means any dust, dirt or food on the floor can get on them. Cats, like a lot of other animals, lick their ass. Kissing them anywhere isn't hygienic. I can understand why someone would be grossed out by that. OP replied saying, it's not that I think it's hygienic, it's more of the I don't care that it isn't, if that makes sense. Johnny replies to that again saying, yes, it makes sense, but don't be surprised that people are grossed out. And one more from Kelly from the future who says, I think you need to rehome him. The boyfriend, I mean. You are too incompatible and he is asking way too much. This is well beyond making him comfortable. This is him trying to change the way you live your life after 2 months together. Screw that. From personal experience, I say find yourself a cat man. You'll be much happier. Not the arsehole. Now we're going to move on to the update to see what that says. Update. First, I want to thank everyone who took the time to respond, upvote, award and DM me. I was inundated with responses and got really great feedback from all over the spectrum. It was decided that I was not the arsehole, but there was tons of no one's the arsehole here. I took every comment to heart, even Toothbrushgate. Convo with Kyle. I wanted to talk because I wanted to hear his reasoning and give a clean break. Honestly, it was a relatively normal, boring conversation. At first. He apologized for giving me an ultimatum and said that he was just frustrated and would never want to hurt Crumb. I apologized for laughing at him and for making him feel as though his feelings weren't valid. He said that the pet thing was new to him and he wants to work at bonding. I asked what he meant by punish and crate. He said that by punish he meant spray with water. He didn't realize cats aren't crate animals. He tried to compromise and say kissing the cat's head was gross, but if I brushed my teeth and washed my face after, he would kiss me. The comment I received most was Kyle and I just aren't compatible. So I said that, although I appreciate his apology and trying to compromise, I don't think in the future it would work. Kyle tried to backpedal a bit and say he can learn to be more flexible, but I kinda got a weird feeling. I said it isn't fair to either of us to compromise on our comfort. I stated that Crumb is non-negotiable. He rolled his eyes and asked if I was choosing Crumb over him. He then asked if I was seriously breaking up with him over a stupid animal. This shocked me because it was a 180 of the previous 15 minutes. He said he felt rejected by Crumb and felt if he rejected him first, it would make them even. I said that was concerning because Crumb is a cat. He asked how I would feel if I kept kissing animals that weren't me. The hell? I said I wouldn't care because they were animals and not a threat. He said I was dense, and if I clearly didn't care about his boundary of kissing animals, who is to say that I wouldn't kiss anyone? This especially hurt because I had previously told him about the stigma of being a queer, bisexual woman, and how everyone assumes we cheat and are promiscuous. I asked if he was jealous of Crumb. He scoffed and said, "You're right, this could never work because you will be a crazy cat lady with no boundaries or hygiene." He said, "Enjoy being alone forever," and hung up. Going forward, I will make sure to explain my relationship with my cat to future partners. I need to be with someone that loves animals or at least doesn't feel threatened by them. Like a lot of you said, I should be with someone that loves both me and Crumb. To answer one of the most asked questions, I sanitized the toothbrush. I'll be getting a new head soon, thanks to my friend. I got a cap for it. Thank you for being part of this journey with me. If you're interested in future updates, I can post them on my own page. And I did check, and I'm afraid that was the latest update we have. And wow, what an absolute journey. Was that some jealousy from kissing the cat I was seeing in there? My word. Oh dear, dear, dear. To me in this situation, I think it ended probably in the best way possible. I couldn't see it going any further. The guy clearly wasn't really going to change. The way he done the 180 after the 15 minutes said that he wasn't going to change at all. But what do you guys make of this one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. And this next story comes from Ring Throwaway 1010, titled "My ex-fiance is threatening to sue me for ownership of a ring that has been in my family for generations, saying that it automatically goes to the man. Is this true in Alabama?" I recently broke off an engagement due to my ex being a cheating whore. The ring I wore during the engagement was an heirloom willed to me by my late grandmother. It is traditional in my family that the ring is passed to the eldest daughter, and my mother had been keeping it safe for me until I found the one. My ex knew this and asked for it when he asked for my mother's permission to propose. She gave it to him and he had possession of it for less than 24 hours before he proposed. Now that we've broken up, he's demanding that I give him the ring back. He's insistent that Alabama law makes it illegal for me to keep the ring, that in the event that an engagement ends, the ring must be returned to the man, period. I looked into it and all I can find is that the ring belongs to whomever paid for it. When I told him this, he told me that I don't have any claim on the ring, since I didn't purchase it, I was only willed it, and that the fact that it was willed to me is irrelevant since my brother gave it to him. He's demanding that I return the ring and any information that I have about the insurance policy on it. It's extremely old and much more valuable than your average K-jeweler's piece. He says that if I don't return the ring by Monday, he'll sue me for it or its value in court. Can he seriously do this? This ring has been in my family since the 19th century. Does he really own it simply because A, he's male, or B, it sat in his pocket for less than a day? Would the fact that my mother was only storing it for me to keep it safe and maintain the surprise of an engagement matter? It wasn't hers to give away. Then OP made some comments below that which were relevant to the context of the story that says he is indeed hopelessly stupid. He still insists that he didn't cheat on me. He was merely opening his side of the relationship. The day before I left him, he told me he wanted an open relationship, and I totally respect polyamory, but since I'm not polyamorous, I don't want an open relationship. He said that was great news because he didn't want a fully open relationship. He wanted me to stay faithful to him but look the other way if he slept with someone else. I was flabbergasted that this educated, formerly apparently kinda normal man could be such a fucking moron. I told him if that was what he wanted, we are done. He actually had the balls to say, "No, we are not. Love you, babe. See you tomorrow." When I got to his house the next day to get my things, he was fucking one of his co-workers on the kitchen table I built from scratch and tried to tell me that it was no big deal, since they'd actually been together for months and I'd been happy the whole time. Sorry to unload on you, but the point is, yeah, you were right. I dodged an intercontinental ballistic missile-sized bullet. I just wish he had shown his arseholery sooner, and I hadn't wasted 2 years of my life on someone so monumentally selfish and divorced from reality. I did not. I briefly considered it, but I made that table out of wood salvaged from his childhood home when it burned down, and he's extremely attached to it, and I know he'll never get rid of it. So I hope that every time he sits down to eat at it for the rest of his life, he remembers what an unfathomable trash villain he was to me. Knowing that the table will instill him with a lifetime of guilt gives me significantly more satisfaction than momentary enjoyment I would have gotten out of destroying the table. Plus, I may not be a professional carpenter, but I'm pretty good for a gal who does woodworking in her brother's basement. I made that thing fucking indestructible. No way I'd be going at it without at least my chainsaw, which silly me didn't think I'd need when I went to pick up my spare clothes from my whore of an ex. And now we're going to jump straight into the update on this one, which says, I wanted to say thanks for all the advice and support I got when I posted on here a while back. I was in a pretty shitty place, and I can't describe how awesome it was to literally have hundreds of people telling me what a pathetic douche chill my ex is. As my title suggests, I don't have a thrilling update for you. A lot of you warned me to be on the lookout for him trying to take back the ring himself, which my family and friends were also worried about. I'm very blessed to come from a large family, so on Monday afternoon, a few of my male cousins, second cousins, concerned family friends, and their firearms came to my apartment to keep me company. My female cousins didn't want to be left out, so they came too. Several of them also toting firearms. Through a garbled family phone tree, one of my uncles completely misconstrued the purpose of the family gathering at OP's house, and arrived bearing a case of liquor and a massive public sheet cake. My grandfather eventually showed up with his banjo and some beautiful pictures of my grandmother wearing the ring in question. As you can imagine, this turned into one of our better parties, and OP's congratulations on not marrying an arsehole party will live on in family lore. Since my original post, I've gotten a lot of extremely nice messages and calls from my ex's family, all of whom are currently not speaking to him. His brother called me the day after the table incident to ask what happened, and I told him the truth, which I can only assume was passed around. His dad assured me that my ex won't be trying to sue me for the ring, and told me that if I ever hear from my ex again, I should call his dad and he will bring the pain. He also sent me a gift card for several $100s to Home Depot, in case I ever want to make a better table for a better man. Hopefully, that will be the last thing about this breakup that makes me cry. I also got an STI screening, which turned out to be negative. My gyno said that everything looked perfect, absolutely pristine. So I may not be getting married in 3 months, but at least I have pristine genitalia. Fantastic. And one last comment, that is the cherry on this update cake. No, he is surely not. Obviously my ex can rot in whichever circle of hell is designated for whores. I want to say second, but wasn't the most enthusiastic Dante student. But his parents are awesome people, and it makes me sick that they are so torn up about how terribly their son acted. There were a lot of "where did I go wrong" tossed around when they called me. His dad was so mad he took the table back and told him he didn't deserve it. And what an absolute horrible time that OP has gone through, but the family that surrounds him, even like ex's family as well, what would have been her in-laws, all seem to be fantastic people and supporting OP, and I think that's an absolute wonderful thing. But what do you guys make of this one, and do you know anything about that lore as well? Was he entitled to that ring if he really wanted to push it? Not that he was going to get it from that family by the sounds of it, but what's your thoughts on that? Now, a huge thank you for spending 20 to 30 minutes with me today, getting involved in the channel, the likes, the subscribes. Everything you do is absolutely amazing. I can never express the difference you really do make. Thank you so much, and I will see you, I hope so anyway, in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love.